Welcome to Twin Flames Healing Journey Teaching Series with Molly McCord, where I share with you the deeper understanding of this important connection and what it means. Now, in this video series, I am giving you a bigger understanding of the energy dynamics and what this twin flame connection is all about. I hope this brings you peace, understanding, acceptance. I hope it clarifies anything you've been struggling with. I hope it just clicks, like you listen to this information and it just resonates so strongly because it's exactly what you were hoping to understand. I have been on this journey for over 10 years, and it has been probably one of the hardest things, but it's also been the most healing, and it's brought me bigger understandings of what I am here to do and how I can be of the most service and assistance to those who want to understand the spiritual meaning of twin flames. So I offer these videos and these teachings to help you with that and to help you hear some more stories and to see what relates on your own path. So in this video, we're looking at, well, what is the twin flame mission? What's it all about? What's the purpose of it? Why does it even exist? Well, it's quite simple. It is the ultimate love story. It's the bigger love story. And there are many different types of love stories in our world and on our planet. There's the love story where people are high school sweethearts and they get married right after high school and they begin their family, or they're college sweethearts, or the people who are strangers who meet on a plane. I mean, think of all the different types of love stories there are in the world. Well, the twin flame love story is different than all of those because the twin flame mission is about a bridge to higher consciousness, a higher understanding of love, and ultimately expanding love into a bigger definition. And so what that means is that there has to be obstacles in the way, barriers, things that are hard, differences, things that must be overcome or worked through. And that's to help open up what love looks like and what love can look like, that it's bigger than what we thought. Now, I'm in my 40s now, and I remember in the 80s when I was growing up that it was really a big deal to see a mixed race couple in public. That was not something that was widespread. Now, of course, people of different races and ethnicities and cultures have been in love and found each other, but doing it in public, it's like it was kind of a different thing. There was these horrible stereotypes, and you think back in history during the 40s and the 50s and the 60s, and when it was even worse, or harder, I should say, harder to be a mixed race couple. Well, this is an example of the type of barriers that twin flames experience. You go against convention. You are different. The two of you have a difference that other people view as a barrier. That means, well, you can't be together because you're too different. You're not from the same background. You're not from the same culture. You're not from the same country. You're not from the same belief system. Like, you should find someone who is the same as you. And the twin flame energy is unconditional love, which means it rises above those barriers, those requirements, and the smallness, if you will, of that understanding of love. And so you have all of these energies that come together and they get stronger around what love really is. And that, of course, it's bigger than someone's culture or their skin color or their ethnicity or their gender. Of course it's bigger than that, right? Love is huge, but you have to understand that for many parts of the planet, that is not acceptable. You know, that isn't what love has been historically. And in fact, it can uproot and challenge, and it's rebellious to think, well, no, love cannot be any other way. Love has to look like this. So the twin flame mission is one that says love is bigger than all that. And I'm going to prove it and demonstrate to you that it is. Because love is everything, right? And love is who we all are. And we all know that spiritually everything is perfect and everyone plays a role for a reason. And there is the need for everyone to be at a certain place. And no one's wrong. And this is not about saying that some people are wrong, some people are right, even though that's what our ego minds do. This is about understanding that you're focusing on the love. That's where you're headed. That's where this train is going. And so the twin flame mission is one with obstacles and barriers and challenges. It's a love story of challenges. And there are external obstacles and inner obstacles, inner challenges, which are essentially just those places of potential for us to do our work. This is about the hero and the heroine finding each other above all odds, against all odds, above everything else. Please know that I speak to you with openness of your sexuality, your gender, however you identify, because LGBTQ is absolutely a part of this experience, and it's needed right now, more than ever, to break through these barriers of gender and sexuality, to again demonstrate that love exists in all of us and between all of us, and how can we reinforce those connections? Well, we do it by partnering up with people who are on that same wavelength. Now, in my other videos, I talked about how the twin flames are a 3.0 version of human beings, and I talk about how that doesn't mean that we are better than. It means that we came in with different functions and features than other human beings. So if other humans are 1.0, they have certain simple, we'll call it simple functions, and twin flames are just more complex. And in some ways we are much more advanced, but there's more responsibilities with that. And so we came in as these 3.0 versions that said, I'm going to help raise the love vibration on this planet, and I'm going to do that by demonstrating that love is bigger than whatever has been defined in my culture, my city, my race, my gender, my location, my belief system, choose any or all of those. And as I say this, I get the visual of the human population being these different tribes. And I'm actually seeing it as a village filled with different tribes. And the tribes are tight together. And they do communicate, but they aren't really open to one another. And this visual, it feels like it's like a tightly knotted energy in each tribe. Now, historically, the purpose of tribes was for survival. And, you live in a certain territory, terrain, location on the planet, and you had to survive through certain means, whether that was living off the land, certain resources. You build up a village that becomes a small town, that becomes a bigger town. And so everything kind of was rooted in safety and what was known, because anything foreign or not known was potentially scary. And so a lot of things in our human psyche developed from this place of survival and what is known and what I can trust and where I'm safe so that I can survive. And from there, we started to branch out and connect with other people who were different than us. And we started to understand more about different ways of living, different belief systems, different cultures. And that is still growing right now. In fact, it's quantum leaping because of technology and the internet and websites and information that you can get about anything, any time of day. But the energy that we're looking at here is how certain, I'm going to call them soul tribes, soul groups, have been afraid of growing and changing. They've been afraid of who's different. They've been afraid of what could change. It feels threatening. It's not known. Think of all the reasons that change is feared, okay? And so then there are, within these tribes, there are people who raise their hand and volunteer and say, I know there is more love in the world than fear, and I know that there are more ways to demonstrate that, and I want to help my tribe grow, and I want to help them grow through love and light, and I want to help them understand it differently. And so the twin flames are the energy of that higher love between two people, and the twin flames, I feel it as they very intentionally select their own tribe that they're going to work with. And it's funny because I get this image of a knot. I don't know if you ever had a knot in your hair, and you just want it to be detangled. It's that energy. It's the intention is pure, where I want to help detangle this fear and detangle the smallness and detangle the limitations or the boundaries or what has happened before. I want to help move this forward. And so the twin flames come in, and they are different, and they are the disruptors, or they are rebellious. They try to fit into a mold. They try to walk the line. They try and stay in line. They try and do what they're told until they understand that they are not meant to fit in. They are meant to stand out. They are meant to be the leaders. They are the pioneers of love. They are the ones who are here to teach those people what it looks like and that it's bigger. Now, you can teach people or attempt to teach people. That doesn't mean they want to learn. That doesn't mean they want to change. But that isn't your responsibility. And so the twin flame mission is to see that I am here to be different because I am here to embody, physically embody love in a different way. And so my path has to be different. I have to stand out. I have to be different from the group, from the tribe, from the standard or conventions. And many twin flames go through some type of coming out experience. This can be gender and sex. This can be through your belief systems. This can be through your culture, your ethnicity, understanding that you don't even want to live in a country that you grew up in. It isn't your country. It's like there's a coming out because you're emerging out of a place that is too small for you. Okay, that tribe energy is too small because you came in to open it up, to bust it open, to expand love. That's the intention. And you do that with support from that twin energy, from that other person who sees you and everything that you are here to do, and they see all of your potential and your gifts and your healing and your energy. And because twins are so connected, they get it, and it's an unspoken thing. It's sort of like you didn't realize that you understood this person so well, but of course you do, because they feel like home. They feel like home to you. And so they support your ability to be different and to stand out. And the image I get is of so many of these souls going to these different tribes all around the planet to stand out and to be different. Now, I did another video that's about relationship pains. Please listen to that one because I think you'll resonate with that theme. But the purpose is to understand that even when you feel different, you're still energetically supported. Now, it does depend on a few things. I mean, twins are always connected spiritually, energetically, intuitively. It's a very powerful connection. They show up in your dreams. You see their name. You have these synchronistic connections. You're like, what is going on? Am I obsessed with this person? Did they put a spell on me? Like, what is happening here? And it's that more powerful spiritual connection that's meant to remind you you're not alone. And they see you and they support you and they're here too for you to do what you need to do. And it all comes back to expanding love. So there's the external obstacles, which I just described, which are the circumstances of your life, right? The family of origin, the culture, the city, expectations, belief systems, traditions. You'll know what that is for you. But then there's also the inner obstacles. And those inner obstacles or challenges are where you are being pushed to grow. And that is the inner work. That's the spiritual work. And you look at yourself and who you are on a deeper level. Now, below this video, I have some resources for you to check out to support you with that, to help you with the inner work, because it's the most important thing. It's how you really grow and learn, and ultimately how you heal on this journey. And it's meant to help you move through some of these obstacles in a higher way, to get a bigger understanding of what's going on. So the Twin Flame mission is the ultimate love story. And I was thinking about some movies that highlight that. And one that came to mind was Dirty Dancing, if you ever saw that, with Johnny and Baby, right? He's the guy from the wrong side of the tracks. And she's the daughter of a prestigious doctor, and, the two of you aren't supposed to be together, and the two of you shouldn't be together. It's that energy, right? Like, you're two different, you're supposed to marry someone who's affluent and who's successful and has money, and then, and Johnny thinks, oh, I'm not supposed to have anyone like her. So that's one movie that highlights the external obstacles. West Side Story, Sharks and the Jets. Romeo and Juliet. It's like, no, but we're from two different places. We're from two different backgrounds. Like, how can this even work? Please share more movies that come to mind. Please write them in the comments, because there's a reason why we are drawn to these stories. Because love conquers all, right? Unconditional love is bigger, and you demonstrate how powerful that is. And that is the Twin Flame mission, is that demonstration of love, and that it's bigger than what society taught us or what we were told or how we were conditioned. It's bigger. And the other thing here is that it is the ultimate love story because it reminds people that no matter what is happening in our world, no matter what the fears are, the challenges, the heartache, love will prevail. Love conquers all. And then you think of these stories where it's demonstrated, whether it's the movies or in real life. But that is the Twin Flame mission, is that unconditional love. Now, in order to do that, however, you have to do that work within yourself so that you hold that energy of unconditional love, of self-acceptance, of self-worth, of self-value, of non-judgment, of saying, this is who I am, and I am different than where I came from. I am different than the people around me, and that is why I'm so frickin' awesome. That is why I am so needed right now, because the planet needs this type of leadership, this type of pioneers, people who are the mavericks, right, who can say, I am here for a bigger purpose and a bigger cause. And it's different than what you probably thought. I mean, if anything, usually people come to this Twin Flame mission feeling whiplashed or blindsided, right? Like, I had no idea this was who I was or this is what was going on. I had no idea. But once you make the connections of what it's all about, it clicks and you feel a shift in yourself. And that's when the real work starts, because now you have to look at yourself and look at, well, what needs to change within me to be stronger in my ability to love unconditionally. Because anywhere in the world you look, you will find challenges, obstacles, and barriers. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. You can go out, get in your car, get on the freeway, and you can be in a traffic jam, right? You can find some kind of barrier or some kind of obstacle. But what this is about is so much more. And I feel like it's an exciting time to be in this awareness And to also give yourself the forgiveness and compassion for everything that happened before. Because there's that great saying, and I wish I knew who to credit it to. I want to say Maya Angelou, but that could be wrong. Where you don't know what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. And until you know it, how can you know it? And so it's just letting that comfort you, that when you awaken to what this is about, the bigger love story, then it's almost like you gather all your energy back, okay? So one thing you can do is an exercise of gathering all your energy back to you and making sure that your energy is not dispersed to other relationships or people or circumstances or situations, meaning you're not still attached or lingering there. Like you call all your energy back and you claim it and you bring it into yourself, and then you're going to feel that shift too. Because this journey, it's energetic, it's spiritual, it's intuitive. It's not a logical, mental, egoic thing. It's bigger than that. So allow that to be where you can center yourself, okay? And to say, okay, this is what it's about. This is what I'm supposed to understand. This is what I'm meant to amplify. This is what I'm meant to ground. And when you do that, it's almost like things really click into gear because you set yourself free, and you're free from the other people. You see the people around you in a different way. You understand that tribe in a different way. Like they were basically the catalyst that showed you what you do not want. You don't want their life, or you don't want their choices, or you don't want to be just like them. You want to be you, and that's different. And stepping away from that tribe and being different can be very scary at first because we have lots of cords and attachments and even history. That's one of the things about this twin flame experience is that you do have people who leave your life. You have friendships that end, relationships that end, connections that end, because they ultimately don't support or even sustain who you are and what you're here to do. And you need other people who do that. You know, I've had in my world relationship changes, friendship changes that were really heartbreaking. They were really hard. And I didn't want it, you know? And yet you can understand that something is the right thing to do, even if it hurts temporarily. Even if it makes you sad for a little bit, that sadness will dissipate and fade because you'll get a resurgence of who you really are, and that this is about a bigger love and a bigger understanding. And you know that everyone's on their path. Everyone is in charge of themselves. They have their own responsibility. You're not in charge of them. You don't need to be responsible for them. And so if you can just, again, call the energy back to yourself and to feel it, like I get the visual of a spine getting stronger or your core energy getting stronger, your core muscles, right, like your abs, your solar plexus, your heart chakra, like all this energy getting stronger because you understand that you're meant to be different. You are a vessel of unconditional love. You're meant to be doing work in the world that really supports that, and that is your responsibility. That is your responsibility, and the other stuff, it fades away because it's just no longer a priority. So these are some of the external challenges and inner challenges that come up, and you're not alone. There are thousands of people around the world who go through this, and I feel like that can be comforting too. So if you can return to the fact that it's the ultimate love story, And that's what it's about. It's about the two of you are meant to be different so that you can demonstrate a new understanding of love. And for most people, that rings so true in their hearts, and they just say, yes, that's it, that's what it's about, and that will sustain you, and that will fortify you. And that will also eliminate the anxiety in your head or any spinning. It'll help that stop and calm down. In another video, I talk about the soul wounds and soul healing. Please listen to that one. I talk about the soul shock. I talk about the separation period between the two twins. And also be sure to listen to the first video in this series where I talk about the basics, which are the who, what, why, when, all that good stuff, because that is kind of like the ground level core stuff to understand, and how the twin flames are different than soulmates. So thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you and your presence, and I hope to connect with you in the next video.